Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average, a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $15,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. National Debt Relief has helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-274-9490. There are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-274-9490. That's 800-274-9490. 800-274-9490.
The following is a live copyrighted presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for RadioLawTalk.com with your host, Frederick Penney, attorney at law. And now, RadioLawTalk.com.
Welcome to Radio Law Talk. I'm your host, Frederick Penney. Hour number 3. We're having fun. Todd and I and Denise and Cal, our producer. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate our audience. We're getting more and more people emailing us at info@radiolawtalk.com. We're getting calls. We're getting people come up to us on the streets, quite frankly, just out of the blue. And a shocker to me where I'll be. And they're like, oh, don't you host Radio Law Talk? I'm not even in my neighborhood where I live or in the area. So thank you for all of those who follow us and tout us up. And you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, just under Radio Law Talk, look it up. And you can we actually even have a YouTube channel. Remember, we're talking about general topics of law. Seek local counsel at any time you have a legal question. We're not here to give legal advice. And again, if you're not sleeping at night, which sometimes happen, what should we do? What should they do, Todd?
Just log on to RadioLawTalk.com. Navigate your way to the section of the website that says disclaimers, and then read those disclaimers. That plus a glass of water and
wine,
maybe some warm milk or a glass of wine will take you back to a time when you believe you were safe and you'll be able to fall asleep.
Be prepared to clean the drool off of your pillow.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
We love that. It is a good disclaimers. So we disclaim everything. There you go. And in this third hour, we're going to have a case or no case that Cal has already set up about something. It's about
dental malpractice. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Weinstein trial. We're going to talk about the Church of Scientology, a lawsuit that occurred there. And we have, toward the end of the third hour, the thing that everybody likes more than anything, and it's called Quick Takes, where Todd, myself, and Denise, we just say a quick take after these 3 hours, something for you to remember. Because you know what? The rules are you don't remember 3 hours worth of stuff, generally speaking. You're not going to remember everything, but we want you to take a quick take home to take to your spouse, your friends, your family, your cats or your dogs, and say, look, this is what I learned on Radio Law Talk. That'll be at the end. But the most important thing that everybody loves to do, and if you want to chime in at 855-LAW Radio or 855-529-7234, you can join us for Case or No Case. Let's roll.
Now it's time to play Case or No Case.
Well, there you go. What's the most popular dental service being advertised around these days? Replacement teeth, called implants, right?
Yes.
Well, Cynthia Hancock saw one of those commercials, and she said, I'm going to go to she lives in West Virginia. That's Cynthia, Cinthia, by the way. Went to the dentist to get an implant and said, I'd like my front teeth. He said, sure. And in doing his work, he stuck something sharp into her inferior alveolar nerve. I hope I'm saying that correctly. In all cases, the dentists allegedly were made aware that they had hit a nerve. It hurt.
But afterwards, she said, my sense of taste has been compromised, and she decided that it would be wise to consult an attorney in West Virginia. When questioned by the attorney in a fact-finding mode, the dentist said, yeah, I hit that nerve, and yes, it was common practice to withdraw the needle when one has done so, but I also said Mrs. Hancock was a sugared Mountain Dew drinker, as was common in the area, and had let her teeth nearly rot from her skull, and she said, I don't care what you have to do, I want an implant. The doc said he did the best he could with what he had to work with, and I ask you, malpractice case or no case? Mr. Cunin, I think it's your turn.
Oh, good heavens. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give my colleagues an opportunity to make up points on. I like to say that so it makes me sound like I'm magnanimous and I'm good. I am going to say, well, first of all, it's my understanding. I don't practice malpractice or the medical malpractice law. I'm a criminal defense attorney, but my understanding is that the standard when did you do it wrong is what would other medical professionals in that locality have done? So it's not, you don't go and look at a manual and say X equals Y and it's done. It's what do other people do? And well, I think that would be the standard with the colleagues. If this were a case, and I'm going to say it's not. I'm going no case on this one.
Wow.
Denise, talk a little longer. I'm still thinking.
Denise is looking at me like,
help me out here.
You stole my no case, but I'm going no case. I have a specific reason why I'm going no case on this one, and I will tell you, regardless of whether I'm right, I will tell you why I went no case after the answer is given.
Okay, Ms.
Which
Dirks.
I hesitate to do because now I'm tipping my hand. But
case?
Yes.
Or no case?
It's because you spelled out Cynthia, and we all know how to spell Cynthia, for goodness sake.
Not in West Virginia. It's C-I-N.
Mountain Mama, take me home, country road.
And she drank Mountain Dew, and she had really bad teeth as a result of the Mountain Dew.
Well, she wanted an implant only in one tooth?
No, she said,
okay.
Fix what you got to do, because not all implants are only one tooth. Some are a group where they'll put a post on one side.
Yeah, they could be like a full-on.
Well, I was just wondering, it's a toothbrush, because anywhere else would have been a toothbrush, but whatever.
Okay, so I have to decide if this is a case or not. And she went to see a lawyer because he hit the occipital whatever nerve.
Yeah.
And then she lost her sense of taste.
Well, it changed it somehow, yeah.
And I don't think there's a direct correlation between hitting a nerve and losing a taste sensation.
Okay.
So just to have fun with this, I'm going to say it's just a scenario. I'm going to say that it is a case, and I'm going to say that she loses.
Okay. Mr. Penney, what say you? Case or no case?
In this case, we have to think about a couple things. The first thing I want to discuss, let's just assume that the malpractice occurred and a nerve was damaged and she lost her taste. Let's assume that. Now we get to damages. Here's the key. Damages. Now she can lose weight because she can't taste, and that's the best thing that ever happened, and there's no damages. And in fact, where's this dentist? I want that nerve cut. I want that nerve cut in my mouth so I can lose weight.
Fred says, bring on the implants, baby.
Bring it, baby. And I think also, but on all that, I think this was all made up because while Cal last week was getting his new vinyls in his front teeth, actually the
something I don't know.
And the new gold one on the left corner.
No, there's
nice
not.
grill.
No, there's not. No, there's
I
not.
think it's no case. I think it's a snare. It's no case. It's just he's made it up.
Okay, well let's go with this. For those of you who say it was not a case, why that would be all three of you.
No, I didn't. I said it was case.
She said it was a case.
For those of you who say it was not a case, that would be Fred and Todd. And all I can say to you two is, well done.
Yeah! We nailed it. Oh, I just see when he's spelling things out and being all official.
It was too detailed.
That was it.
Let me tell you the story here. This is a common area for dentists to be sued. And yes, you can lose your taste, lose all of your feeling in the lower jaw if that nerve is compromised. But it's fairly easy for the dentist to avoid the malpractice if he offers the patient a treatment plan in writing that explains the risks and they sign off on it. This was at least what little research I've done on it. So he wasn't a case, but that's how most dentists defend themselves in court. So I told them it was going to be risky. I told them what could happen. They signed off on it. What do you want me to do? So there you have it. That is our case or no case. Good job,
Let's
you
clap.
guys.
We want some clapping, man.
Really
That's
good. That was good.
Where's the one that says Fred? You have that one?
I do, but I haven't had real reason to use it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we got to go out. We got a break anyway, but find it when we come back, and we're going to talk about Harvey Weinstein.
All right, stay tuned. There's more Radio Law Talk right here. More chanting Fred, but sadly no more case or no cases for this particular 3-hour block. We'll be right back right here on Radio Law Talk, on radiolawtalk.com, and on your radio station. Do not go away.
All advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to radiolawtalk.com.
Concussion Medical Clinic knows active people run the risk of the concussion. Soccer, football, even a simple fall can lead to a brain injury. Concussion Medical Clinic can test you before you start a sports program so they can have a baseline and more quickly diagnose a concussion should one occur. They also offer expert witness services if you're involved in a concussion case, and their specialty is the treatment of concussion. So if you have suffered a concussion and want the best concussion care available, give Concussion Medical Clinic a call, 916-259-4043, 916-259-4043. Concussion Medical Clinic.
Jason Ross back here with Fred Penney, managing attorney from Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers. Now, Fred, what type of cases are you dealing with now, and what sets you apart?
Jason, we help people with all types of personal injury cases. We're former insurance company trial lawyers. We understand the other side, which gives us a distinct advantage over our competition. Remember, we don't get paid unless we win.
That's Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennylawyers.com or give them a call, 1-800-616-4LAW. That's PENNEY lawyers.com.
This is Denise Dirks. We can represent clients in divorce, legal separation, child and spousal support, custody, termination of parental rights, step-parent adoptions, guardianships, and even conservatorship matters. Call 1-877-886-7186 for a consultation.
The law offices of Denise L. Dirks provide family law services in Northern California. When the law affects your family, call 877-886-7186. The family of attorneys at Denise L. Dirks is here to help.
Not all law firms have extensive experience in all areas of the law. It's wise to look for firms that have knowledge and understanding in your particular area of concern. So go to prolawfirms.com. They have listings of attorneys in key areas of practice, such as family law, estate planning, personal injury, bankruptcy, and so forth. When you're looking for a lawyer that has extensive experience in your particular area of need, go to prolawfirms.com. That's prolawfirms.com.
ProLawFirms.com is not a law firm and does not endorse or recommend any specific law firm.
Hi, I'm Frederick Penney of Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers. I bet you're tired of hearing lawyer commercials. So just relax and listen to music for a few seconds. When you or a family member has been injured, call 800-616-4LAW or see us at PenneyandAssociates.com. See, that wasn't so bad.
If you're one of those independent people who wants your own business and you love food service, we just might have a great opportunity for you. Iceberg Drive-Ins. Iceberg is famous for its thick shakes and delicious food. We lend you our supply chain and expertise, and you can potentially have a thriving, successful, fun business that your customers will love. Iceberg Drive-Ins has some prime areas available right now, so if you're interested, get in touch with us right away. Go to icebergdrivein.com and click on the Contact Us button. Iceberg Drive-In, ready to grow with you.
All right, guys, we need to have you read some lines for our disclaimer promo, but first, can anybody tell me what a disclaimer is? All right, then. Well, Denise, you go ahead.
Non uti concilius me oriere proquestis purpurium juris consult.
Latin, that's a nice touch. Thank you, Denise. Next time we'll try it in English, if that's okay. Fred, how about you?
Cal, I don't want to read all this. Can't we just tell the people that we're discussing general legal issues and they should hire their own attorney instead of relying on what we have to say here?
Well, we could, I guess. Chris?
I'm not going to be there anyway. Why have me do it?
Let's have Todd do it.
Me? Read disclaimers? Why, I couldn't. The information you hear on Radio Law Talk is general.
The preceding promo was for entertainment purposes only. And if you want true legal advice, contact your own lawyer. Just a tip from your friends at Radio Law Talk.
Be sure to read our disclaimers on RadioLawTalk.com as well.
No points for you. Oh, come on.
You're listening to RadioLawTalk.com. And now back to your host, Frederick Penney.
So for those of you living under a rock, as I always say, there is a trial going on that started this week in Manhattan, in New York, of Harvey Weinstein, who is basically the mogul, the producer, the famous Hollywood guy that controlled a lot of films and productions, and a lot of individuals, including women, wanted to get on, become a star. So he, there's allegations that he was inappropriate with women during many years, and
it basically led rise to the Me Too movement.
Yeah, that's kind of where this all started. And this is really the first big trial. This is the criminal trial. Now, he settled cases, civil cases already out of this certain allegations, but he has pled twice not guilty to allegations of sexual misappropriation or misconduct. I mean, that's a broad term of all the situation. So the trial starts, and a couple interesting things occur.
And this trial is the one in New York.
New York. The minute the trial starts, or as they're going up to the courtroom, Los Angeles District Attorney, or the AG, I can't remember, I thought it was the DA or was it the AG?
It's the District Attorney.
Files more criminal charges against him in Los Angeles and Southern California. That, to me, I don't want to say, that worries me.
The timing of that just
as a
looks
lawyer,
little suspicious.
as a lawyer, that is not, that there are things that are being, you're aggressive as a lawyer, you do what's, best for your client, but the fact that they did that and the publicity went wild and crazy on that, now Harvey Weinstein's lawyer comes to court and says, Your Honor, we're about ready to pick a jury. Look, we need to put things in neutral until this all calms down. Why did the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office file this and announce it right as this trial was starting? And in my opinion, I don't like that.
Well, I think I know why, because Lacey, who is the district attorney, is running for re-election.
That's exactly what's going on.
So it almost looks like suspiciously like a political move.
So now we've got issues of legal wrangling in the Weinstein trial starting this week, because there's a number of things, but one reason is this DA down in Los Angeles County decides to go ahead and in my opinion, could taint part of the jury pool in New York.
There was another part that I want to sidetrack just for a second, because Weinstein's attorney brought a motion to exclude Gloria Allred from the trial, and specifically from watching the jury, the choosing of the jury. And the reason that it was is because she represents a lot of the other victims. And they're like, she may be a potential witness in this case. The defense intends to call her apparently.
Right.
So they're like, she shouldn't be there. And the judge said, look, she represents people that are witnesses and other potential victims, and we're not going to exclude her. So the judge denied that motion.
Got it.
Well, and that's interesting because it's a very common motion for both the prosecution and the defense to have what's called a motion to exclude witnesses. Anybody who may present testimony later on should not be able to sit in the courtroom and hear what other people say, so that when they take the stand, they can go ahead and say something corroborative to what was testified to. The beauty behind it is if the stories are the same, they should be the same whether you were sitting in the courtroom or not. And so if they are going to call her as a witness, if they legitimately are, well, then, yeah, she should probably be out. However, if the court looks at it and says, you just put her on your witness list because you want to kick her out of the courtroom and you don't entertain the actual notion that you're going to call her as a witness, so they can see through that. I could see maybe the court saying that she can't be in the courtroom during anybody testifying.
Right.
during anybody testifying that's a client of hers. However,
that's her client.
That's her client, and she has to be there to give legal advice. What if somebody's going to say something and she says, Your Honor, wait a second, I got to advise my client they could get themselves in legal jeopardy? That's why you have the attorney.
Right, and it's possible that this ruling only applies to the voir dire of the jury and doesn't apply future-wise. But one thing the court said that was interesting is that he would presume that Gloria Allred would not be communicating.
The judge.
The judge would not presume that she would be improperly talking to the other witnesses and telling the witnesses what's being testified to in the courtroom. He wasn't going to make that.
Well, I think that's interesting, the actual words that he used, that he is not going to presume that she would do that. Because the defense was probably saying, she's just going to sit there and do that. And the court is saying, well, absent anything other, I have no reason to presume that she would violate her responsibilities and her conduct as an officer of the court. However, if after the trial starts it turns out that she is doing those things, that ruling may change.
But again, it's tit for tat here, and I think there's issues on both sides. But I truly believe the thing that does outweigh it all is if her clients are on the stand, even in a civil case, she should be allowed to be there. Like you said, Denise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think in the jury pooling and voir dire of the jury that it's appropriate for her to be there as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my feeling.
With regard to this L.A. filing, the Constitution of the United States says the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy trial. Doesn't give any time frames. And every state then attaches their own statute of limitations, their own, if you're arraigned, it's got to be within 60 days. Preliminary hearing has to be within a certain number of days. But the overall framework is it has to be the right to a speedy trial. I would see, not saying it's going to be successful, but I would suggest and wouldn't be surprised to see Weinstein make an argument that the DA sitting on this case for as long as they did with no new information that would have justified the filing has compromised his ability to mount a defense and to try to get it bounced on speedy trial grounds. Not going to be successful probably, but I bet they make the motion.
Well, you know why they're doing the motion? For appeal. All this stuff they're setting up for appeal. And I'm going to reiterate it. We said it 2 or 3 times. Very interesting that this DA does it right as they're walking up to start the trial in New York.
Yeah, I find that interesting too. We need to talk about the texting and what happened in the courtroom.
Yeah, we got more on Weinstein when we're coming back.
All advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to radiolawtalk.com.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-263-2610. 800-263-2610. That's 800-263-2610.
Warning, don't let your business get left behind in what is likely to be the biggest economic boom in recent history. If you need to build for your business to grow, call General Steel today for a pre-engineered steel building designed for your needs. No wasted space. Steel prices are expected to rise, but you can still lock in your price on a General Steel building. And you can still save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. As much as half. But you must call now. If you need a church building, office, warehouse, warehouse, manufacturing space, retail space, or more. Call General Steel today. You can still get the General's 50-year structural warranty and General Steel quality, all at a price you can afford. So don't let rising steel prices put your project out of reach and stop you from making your company great.
800-617-9312. 800-617-9312. 800-617-9312. That's 800-617-9312. Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and...
If you pay my fee, I'll take your case.
Radio Law Talk. Now, back to the show.
So we're talking about the Weinstein case in New York that's going on, and some very interesting antics that were going on in the courtroom. It's going to lead up to some motions that we're going to discuss in a second. But one of the things is about a phone. Denise, tell them about what's happening with what happened with the phone situation.
Well, this judge is one of those judges that say no phones in the courtroom, period. No phones, no texting, no nothing. And Weinstein not only brought his phone in, but he brought 4 phones in. And during the picking of the jury pool...
No, he didn't necessarily bring them in. They had taken some of them. He keeps bringing... I just want to make sure we're clear. I don't think he brought all 4 in. He was using one of them, and they'd be taken away.
I don't know. It indicated that he was multiple texting, and the judge caught him. Right. And the judge basically said to him, do you want to go to jail and spend time in jail for violating my order?
For texting, basically.
Yeah. And, Weinstein apologized and all that stuff. But come on, guys. I mean, if there is a court that says to you, a judge that says to you, do not bring your phone in and do not text or use your phone during these proceedings, you better honor that, because they not only can they take away your phone, but they can put you in jail for violation, because that is a violation of the court's order in front of the court. And the court doesn't even need to have a trial for that. The court can put you under arrest because it's basically a contempt matter of an order that occurred before the judge.
I think it's interesting. I don't know if a lot of people consider this the position that a judge is put in, but when you're a judge, and again, I've never been a judge, so I'm hypothesizing here, but you're starting a high-profile case with the defendant, who was arguably one of the most powerful people in Hollywood at one time, and you get the high-priced attorneys on either side, and everybody is scrutinizing everything that you do. I would imagine, as a judge, first and foremost in your mind is to establish exactly who's in control here and who is laying down the law in the courtroom, just so that everybody knows that you're not going to walk all over this person. And as a judge, you would have to pay attention to something that others might view as, oh, he's just texting. I mean, I can tell you right now, because I'm in court a lot, that if you took away the cell phones from every attorney waiting for their case to be called, who's probably over there sitting aside playing solitaire or free cell or whatever, if you took phones away from everybody in the courtroom, you would see professionals starting to go through withdrawals on any calendar that lasted longer than 45 minutes, because they're all on them. And,
right.
Yeah, but it's one thing to have attorneys that maybe need access to their calendar on the phone, to have them have their phones.
Yeah.
But another thing for them to be using their phones in court, other than what's proper to be used
At least while they're on the while they're prosecuting their case. If Todd, like, they're sitting back and waiting for their case, that's a different story. But
actually, a lot of courts say no use of your phones, period.
Yeah, no, they say most of them do.
Yeah.
But how many lawyers are down there looking at them anyway, right? Cal's got a.
Wouldn't Mr. Weinstein's attorney say, "Yo, Harv, put it away, buddy"? I mean, isn't that what you? How much money is the lawyer getting?
They did.
They assured the court that they would make sure he would not have a phone on him in the future.
Well, and not just for complying with the court's order, but we're in the middle of jury selection here.
Hello.
Do you really want to be these people that are going to decide your freedom? Yeah. Do you really want to send to them the image that you couldn't care less about this, that you're going to be on your phone? I mean, I would think that jury consultants and attorneys would be like, if you want to win this case and have a snowball's chance and you know where of doing it, put the dang phone away.
Not good optics.
Here's a couple of things I want to bring up about the trial that I thought were interesting. That I know we don't want to beat a dead horse, but this is interesting. Yeah. Okay, when you do voir dire, that means when you're picking your jury, there's always a questionnaire. And the questionnaires are a couple pages long, 2, 3, maybe 4. The questionnaire in the Harvey Weinstein case is 16 pages long.
Oh, is that all?
And not only that, at least the judge agreed to add the question to prospective jurors, questioning did they see any media coverage of the LA case while, before they came in. So that's a question that they ask. So to me, that's interesting. They're saying this is going to last 8 weeks, which is quite some time, which is going to take someone's time in life. But Denise talked earlier about the judge coming down on him saying, do you want to be in prison for, whatever, because of texting? So guess what the latest thing is? The latest is they've brought a motion. Harvey Weinstein's attorneys brought a motion to remove the judge, saying that the judge cannot be fair and impartial. They just brought it before, I think it was Friday or I don't know.
It was really recent, and the judge hasn't been able to decide that part yet.
Yeah, and so that's before them, whether or not the judge is going to be removed, because they're arguing the following, that Judge James Burke threatened Weinstein with jail time for texting, and that is extreme. They're also arguing that he said, quote, you're going to end up in jail time for the rest of your life by texting. And bringing these prejudicial, inflammatory conduct and comments before the defendant, which has received widespread press attention, which is harming the jury pool, the Harvey Weinstein and the jury pool.
Now, look, when you file a motion like this, I have been in trials where the defense has filed a motion against a judge. The first person to hear it is the judge themselves. And the judge has ruled on it. He has said, I am denying your motion. I can be fair and impartial. Look, you run into a situation like this. We did a case not too long ago about the guy in Southern California that sent the
Ilke, what was his name?
Yeah, no. This was the guy who was trying to collect the debt for the couple who had water damage, and he was suing the insurance company.
Attorney.
And then the judge said, "You shouldn't practice law," and came back. So, look, if you're a judge and you want to lay down the law, you can do it, but you have to be careful what you say when you do it.
Right.
And in this case here, is it going to be more effective if you say, I'm going to put him in jail and you better do this? Or would it be more effective for the judge to say, I see the phone is out. I have already issued an order, Mr. Weinstein. I'm holding you in contempt right now. Just do it.
Or not, no, just say it in a different way. No, look, Mr. Weinstein, I've asked you before and you are not complying. Please put that away. If not, I will hold you in contempt the next time you do it. That, period. Say it something like that instead of, you want to end up in jail the rest of your life by texting in violation of this order? Wait a minute. The rest of your life you're going to put him in for texting? Come on. Now, wait a minute. I want to finish this point.
Sure.
So then the attorneys are also arguing that this judge needs to step down because he's not allowing a cool-off period. And the cool-off period is because of this L.A. filing that we talked about earlier. And I'll tell you right now, I'm kind of on their side. I'm not on Weinstein's side. I'm on the side of their attorneys saying there needs to be a cooling period. They're bringing up stuff like, Your Honor, there's online commentators that are well-known commentators saying, quote, and here's a quote from them, and this is all out in the press, just as they're starting their case because of this L.A. The one guy said, and then the cell phone thing went viral, right? And commentators are saying, and one said, quote, maybe they'll give him Epstein's cell phone to use. So stuff like that. It's kind of funny, but it's like that is evidence that this is going viral.
It is.
And give a cooling off period so it just calms things down, because I don't care what people say about Weinstein. He's innocent until proven guilty, and that is our system.
Do you like the way that he's playing it up by using a walker and appearing to be very feeble?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely...
I mean, he's playing it up.
He's walking pretty fast for a guy with a walker. I will say that the court, in addition to the motion to have him recuse himself, also ruled on the cooling off period request and denied that, saying, quote, hey, there's no time like the present, all sides are ready. The interesting thing with that, though, is when the defense makes a motion to have the judge recuse himself and the judge does not, the defense then kind of creates a situation now where they could try to appeal, saying, now the judge has grounds to rule against us and to be prejudiced against us because we've questioned his ability to be impartial, and to try to get an appellate court to overturn that decision to appoint a different judge. When you make that request, you're kind of all in at that point. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so
you can play it both ways, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, whether you like it or not, we're going to follow this next week. Be prepared. We will be talking about it because the Weinstein thing's not going to go away. I find it fascinating. It's almost like an OJ trial, almost, right?
Yes.
I mean, how fascinating that was, those of you who lived during that time period. And then we're going to come and talk about the Church of Scientology. There's an interesting issues there on these lawsuits, whether or not there should be arbitration or a normal court case. And then we're going to end with our quick takes. So join us. We'll be back.
We know it'll be sad for you when the show's over, so grab on to these last 15 minutes or so on Radio Law Talk, and of course on radiolawtalk.com. It's there too. We'll be right back. Hold on.
Advertising for legal services on Radio Law Talk is strictly for the state or states in which the advertiser is licensed. For more information, go to radiolawtalk.com.
Jason Rosbach here with Fred Penney, managing attorney from Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers. Now, Fred, what type of cases are you dealing with now, and what sets you apart?
Jason, we help people with all types of personal injury cases. We're former insurance company trial lawyers. We understand the other side, which gives us a distinct advantage over our competition. Remember, we don't get paid unless we win.
That's Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennylawyers.com or give them a call, 1-800-616-4LAW. That's PENNEY lawyers.com.
This is Denise Dirks. We can represent clients in divorce, legal separation, child and spousal support, custody, termination of parental rights, step-parent adoptions, guardianships, and even conservatorship matters. Call 1-877-886-7186 for a consultation.
The law offices of Denise L. Dirks provide family law services in Northern California. When the law affects your family, call 877-886-7186. The family of attorneys at Denise L. Dirks is here to help.
Concussion Medical Clinic knows active people run the risk of the concussion. Soccer, football, even a simple fall can lead to a brain injury. Concussion Medical Clinic can test you before you start a sports program so they can have a baseline and more quickly diagnose a concussion should one occur. They also offer expert witness services if you're involved in a concussion case, and their specialty is the treatment of concussion. So if you have suffered a concussion and want the best concussion care available, give Concussion Medical Clinic a call, 916-259-4043, 916-259-4043. Concussion Medical Clinic.
Hi, I'm Frederick Penney of Penney & Associates Injury Lawyers. I bet you're tired of hearing lawyer commercials. So just relax and listen to music for a few seconds. When you or a family member has been injured, call 800-616-4LAW or see us at PenneyandAssociates.com. See, that wasn't so bad.
I've got to get my car washed. This dirt, it just won't do. But I don't have no time today. I don't know what I do.
Man, I know this place right down the road. Quick, quack, car wash. Hop inside, let's take a ride and watch this cat and shine. Just come and see, I guarantee your ride will steal the show. Come on, quick, quack, car wash. Don't drive that dirty car. Quick, quack, car wash. They'll have you looking sharp.
Many women have so many clothes in the closet, but then we go to get dressed and find we have nothing to wear. We've all been there. We all want to be comfortable and fashionable at the same time, and it's difficult to find clothing that makes that task effortless. But at Letty & Company, you can find trendy, comfortable clothing that is affordable, things you'll want to wear every day. Shop with a purpose, online with free shipping. Just go to LETTYandcompany.com. LettyandCompany.com.
I knew I had a problem, but I didn't know what to do about it.
I tried counting calories, I took pills.
Eating, and then more eating.
I really wanted to stop, but nothing could make me stop.
At one point, it was so bad that I just felt like giving up.
I felt so alone.
Like nobody else could possibly understand.
We understand. We're Overeaters Anonymous, and we have helped thousands of people just like you. People who want to stop their compulsive eating and start living a healthy, rewarding life.
Overeaters Anonymous, help me get my life back.
Now I eat in a way that's healthy and good for me.
I never realized what I was missing out on.
With OA, I am living again and loving it.
Start living the life you deserve with help from Overeaters Anonymous. Find us on the web at oa.org.
I like the Amargosa Valley. Oh, come on.
You're listening to RadioLawTalk.com. And now back to your host, Frederick Penney.
WSLA, 1560 AM, New Orleans, Louisiana. Thank you. They are one of our affiliates that carries our show. We really appreciate it. Denise Dirks, I know Denise Dirks is going to be there this weekend. She's not going to be with Todd and I. It's just going to be the boys.
Next weekend,
in a couple weekends. And maybe, I bet she might even show up to the station. She might even be there for you guys to meet. I just thought about this. I don't know why we don't have her on the station. Maybe we'll get her on the station. We'll call them and see if they want her. They probably do. But if you want to meet her, that's a good place to meet her. Right, Cal?
It's perfect. And you know what? It's a little more intimate. You can spend some more time talking about the show and how wonderful Fred is and how wonderful Todd is.
No,
and,
Fred, just Fred, not Todd.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to say, Todd, he just gets under my skin.
Yeah, you could just say that, and I think that would work out.
Just call me Hey Jude.
And you could hear.
Yeah.
I could give that sound, or you could take it to them to cheer for Fred.
And maybe you'll even bring a T-shirt or two.
Yeah.
One of our Radio Law Talk T-shirts.
And my mug.
And your mug.
Nice.
Todd, what do you got? We've got some interesting things to talk. We're talking about the Church of Scientology. This was kind of interesting. And then Todd, you're going to talk briefly about not yet, but about
tell me when you want
about some trucking issues, legal issues, but. The Church of Scientology one's really interesting, huh?
Yes. Right now, the Church of Scientology is being sued by 4 women, and they're also suing Danny Masterson. Now, remember, Danny Masterson, it was on that 70s show, right? He was the one that was kind of the smart one of the group. And anyway, they allege that not only did he sexually harass them and assault them, but they were also stalked and harassed after they talked to the LA police by Danny Masterson and by individuals associated with the Church of Scientology.
But wait, there was a smart one on the 70s show?
There was.
Okay.
I don't know. He was in that corner of that circle too, and yet
must have missed it. Yeah.
He made some sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's basically, Danny Masterson is blaming his ex-girlfriend for this, but it's come to the point where now there are motions being filed in the case. And the Church of Scientology...
Where's this located? What does it say? Where... do we know? I mean, I'll look it up. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I actually don't know where the case is situated.
Let me find it out.
But what I do know is that the church itself is saying, hey, all of these people in this suit were members at one time of our church. And the court, or the law in the United States under the Constitution, we're allowed to set up our own process for resolving our own religious type of disputes. And we have done that through the Church of Scientology, and we have ecclesiastical.
Yes, wait a minute. That tells you she's not going to church enough, huh? We tells you you're not a girl. Oh my gosh.
It is. It does tell you that. Anyway, they have religious arbitration in the church itself to resolve disputes. Even if they're criminal nature, whether they're civil in nature, they have to go. In fact, when their members sign up to become a Scientologist, they have to sign a stipulation and agreement that says my freely given consent to be bound exclusively by the discipline, faith, internal organization, and ecclesiastical custom
Go to
and
church
law.
next week.
I need to. Anyway, it goes on. It's like a couple of paragraphs that basically say they relinquish their right to sue now or in the future for anything.
They have to go before the church arbitration.
That's right, through their own church process. And it doesn't matter when the cause arises or anything. It doesn't matter if they're no longer a member of the church or anything. So this is going to be one to watch. And the Church of Scientology said, not only is that mandated under our rights as a church, but the Federal Arbitration Act also requires that when there's arbitration clause between the parties, it is favored, and the parties have to go to that process. Now the question becomes, it appears this is a state court and is not a federal
LA.
court.
It's Los Angeles.
Yes. Exactly. So
LA.
Because then you have to ask, does the federal act even apply?
Yes.
This is
right.
a state court, it's not a federal court. It should be maybe a federal question that's raised up. So shouldn't the Church of Scientology, Todd, have tried to make a motion to transfer this to federal court so that they can raise that federal question?
Yeah, that is interesting. I just think that the whole scenario is quite unique. These women were basically suing Danny Masterson, claiming that he had inappropriate, sexually harassed them and did whatever, and the church is coming in saying, well, because you're all Scientologists, this need to be handled by church law, you can't use state court. That to me is amazing.
It is.
But you're right. If they are relying on a federal the federal law to justify their arbitration agreement, then it would seem to me that the Church of Scientology should be trying to remove it to federal court so that provision can be interpreted.
And you know why they wouldn't?
Why is that?
Because they don't want it to get to the Supreme Court quickly.
Wow,
they would want it to go through the state, go through all the appellate courts, go to the state Supreme Court, and then maybe get dealt with at the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court level.
I was just thinking out loud and listening to this because I'm fascinated by the premise, and that is that I think Fred has said before, as a person who specializes in liability matters, that you can't sign away your own rights. You can't just say, well, the Constitution grants me these rights, I can't sign them away. Can a person sign away a constitutional right?
They can.
Yeah,
they absolutely can. That would be, like, for a very good example, would be a waiver of the right to a speedy trial. They can absolutely waive their right to a speedy trial.
Stunning.
Right? That's just a quick example.
Yes. Stunning to me in a criminal case.
Yeah, this now of course the attorney for the women are arguing that this is an unconscionable as against to his clients. It's unconscionable for that clause to be put against them. They're no longer members. They didn't have equal bargaining position with the Church of Scientology, and thus it should be void as against public policy, and they can't enforce it against his clients. But it's going to be interesting because I just love this argument, and I've never seen this argument before. But Fred, you said you saw a similar type of argument where a church raised the privilege issue in
a child molestation case. And I'll be honest with you, I can't remember. I remember there was the argument going on. I know it was. It was one of the attorneys that I met with. It was based out of Texas, and we were discussing that issue. And it actually was not molestation. It was about the shootings. It was a shootings case. And I don't remember what the answer is, but that was something that's been brought up as an issue. But
I mean, there is a privilege right when you're dealing with religious issues also.
It depends what state you're in too.
Yeah.
So, Todd, you got something briefly because we're running out of time.
Yeah, so anybody who has heard about the California's AB5, this is attacking the gig economy, Uber, Lyft, all of the DoorDash, all of these folks
truck drivers.
Well, we'll get to that in just a second, but all of these 450,000 people in the state of California are part of the gig economy, and AB5 has come out to say, no, these guys are all presumptive employees.
As opposed to independent contractors, correct?
Yeah, as opposed to independent contractors. And this was also being applied potentially in the state as to truck drivers. Well, among others, the truck drivers, California Trucking Association filed a lawsuit to have them exempted. And recently, a court, and I believe this was in Los Angeles, ruled in favor of the truck drivers, holding that the federal law known as the Federal Aviation Administration Authorization Act governs truck drivers, and Congress previously had adopted a scenario where truck drivers nationwide should be viewed as independent contractors because it made the competition more favorable, and that this law encroached upon that, so it couldn't be applied as to truck drivers. So truck drivers are out. All the other lawsuits are still pending about Uber, Lyft, and other giggers.
And that was a state court that actually made that decision on the federal issue.
And that's fascinating, because now that means we only have a little time for your quick takes. Mr. Penney, what's yours?
I have absolutely nothing of substance today on my quick takes because I just want you to forget about everything we talked about today.
Okay.
No, that's Michael Jackson's.
What would your quick take be, my friend?
When I was married, could I claim that I was an independent contractor when my wife told me to mow the lawn? Doesn't matter. I didn't make any money or get any other benefits from it, so
Probably not. All right, Denise, what about you?
Let's learn from Weinstein. Save your major surgeries for when you are charged with a crime. Gain sympathy from the jury and the public.
Very nice.
Hey, well, thank you for joining us. Cal, thanks for being a great producer.
Of course, thank you.
Join us next week, live, 9 to noon Pacific time. We'll see you next week.
This has been Radio Law Talk. We will see you next week, same time and same place. And thanks for listening. We'll be back.
You have been listening to RadioLawTalk.com, a copyrighted presentation of Radio Law Talk Incorporated.
Alan Root. I have a voice problem. My voice easily gets hoarse. That's a big problem when you're a talk show host. I talk thousands of hours a year on radio and TV. I have to protect my voice. Well, those problems are a thing of the past. My throat is now a workhorse because of My Doctor Suggests all-natural silver lozenges. I pop these lozenges all day long and all show long. Silver has been used historically to destroy bacteria, viruses, and even yeast. Imagine sucking on a lozenge and letting the silver slowly and consistently destroy the cause of mouth, throat, and respiratory problems. Those lozenges work. I'm living proof. They're a miracle for me. Now a more advanced silver formula is available in a liquid gel or lozenge form, and you can get all three in one package and 20% off because War sent you. My Doctor Suggests the name of the company, but Wayne Root doesn't suggest. I urge you to try these remarkable all-natural lozenges today. Call 866-660-9868. That's 866-660-9868, or go to mydoctorsuggest.com/root. Use promo code USA Radio to save 20% off. That's mydoctorsuggest.com/root.